this video here, we're going to show you how to take a large box out hole in the shower floor that the builder forgot to fill in, and that's the shower drain pipe leading to the unit down below. And we're going to show you how to fill it in properly with concrete so that you can tile and you don't have to worry about your pipe breaking ever again, because that's the problem that was discovered here at this foreclosure condo when we took it over. So here's a still shot of what it looks like underneath the slab. This is the 18-inch crawl space between our unit and the unit downstairs. And here's the view from inside the unit downstairs. We cut a hole in their ceiling, and now we're looking up at that same broken pipe there. And it's just amazing the damage that occurred under there and the engineering failure that we're faced with here. But this had to be fixed before you can fill in that box out there. Now, it's usually code in many cities to have box outs filled in by concrete, or if they're doing a bathtub, you know, the drain and the overflow that they have there, that usually is required to be cemented in, or they won't get their permit. They won't get the permit signed off there. So here we are looking at the broken pipe there, and there's the overhead view looking down from our unit down into the unit downstairs, where there's a plumber here now making that repair. So they're going to connect these pipes back up, and he'll reroute the shower drain pipe back up into the middle of this box out where it belongs, and he'll have it right in the exact area where we need it to be for when we install our shower drain pan. So then we can tile over it and put in the drain directly where it needs to be. So right there, we're making the repairs to it there, you can see. So that blue tape that you just saw there on the floor is going to mark where the pipe needs to go when he's done. So here, he's getting ready to cement in the new pieces here prior to us filling in the box out opening there. So he's taking his measurements and he's making his cuts. Okay, so now we're just taking a quick peek up in there now that the repair is done. You can see the new section of pipe that was added there. And so it connects back around, and it's going to move an angle upward into the center of our box out hole up top there. So you can see it going right up there, popping out right in the center of the opening there, upstairs into the bathroom. So it's right where it needs to be. So now we can come it back upstairs and we can cement in this box out opening here. So there's your opening from above in the bathroom, and there's the drain pipe sticking out right smack dab in the middle there, on off to the right. And so all we have to do now is just figure out a way to get this completely filled in here. So there's the shower drain flange that you saw there on the right with the grate. So what we've done was we've taken a piece of wood and cut a hole in it, and we've secured the wood, wedged it in there and glued it in place here with the PL adhesive. It's a construction adhesive. And we cut a hole in the wood that just barely fits around the pipe with a black rubber gasket in there as well, so they can easily remove the pipe later on. So now you're looking at that little 4-inch piece of pipe that I've got there. You'll see in a minute, we'll need that later. It's acting as a spacer for the gray shower flange there. So as we look around here, we can see the construction adhesive is nicely dried. We have the pipe is capped off now to keep any sewer gases from coming up, and also to protect the pipe while we're doing our work there as well. So here we're dry fitting the shower pan and the shower flange, just to kind of see, do we need to make any adjustments, or do we need to slice anything off of the shower pan in order to make that fit there. So we're just kind of going through all of our dry fitting process here to make sure everything's going to be right, because once we put this concrete in here, that's going to be it, folks. There's no undo button. So everything has to be right the first time. We have to make sure everything's fitting here, and we have to make sure, like, well, I'm pointing right here to this gasket it's actually inside the cutout of the wood. So this will enable any remodelers years later to come in and remove the pipe if they have to. Even though there's going to be cement in there, the cement, the concrete, will not be glued to that pipe. It will be separated from that pipe by that 4-inch section of pipe that you see over there. Okay, so we're going to be we're checking around the edge here. Our construction adhesive is holding up nicely at this point, and we'll put the cap back on. First, I want to do a quick dry fit here with the flange. So you see that little spacer there, that's part of the shower pan there, and that's what will set the drain flange there at the proper height off of the cement floor there, the concrete slab. So the shower pan, when it comes down, will form around that. Okay, so we're just practicing with it because we know we have to turn it like a steering wheel when we go to cement it on. This is gray plastic, but Schluter says that you can cement it right onto the PVC. Now see, the 4-inch pipe fits right directly, perfectly around that. So that's what we're going to be using it as to set the space. So it's going to be concentric here with the shower drain pipe there. And you can see when we go to glue it to the shower drain pipe, it will fit down around there and just kind of stick in between that space. So we just need to make sure that that 4-inch piece isn't so high that it blocks you from being able to plug on to the shower pipe coming up out of the floor there. So now here we got this bottle of primer here. And anytime you put old concrete up against new concrete, you always want to use a primer. And it's also not a bad idea to put it on the wood as well. But basically that's what you need the primer there for, is to mate old concrete with new concrete. You never want to just put them together. So here we've got a piece of rebar here. What we've done is cut holes on either side of the opening so that I can slide the rebar in the hole, then push it down, and then slide it back in the hole towards me. So see how it's kind of sitting in there? And you want to situate it so that your rebar is floating in the vertical about the middle. You don't want to put the rebar at the bottom. A lot of people make the mistake, I think, of putting rebar at the bottom of whatever slab they're going to cover with mortar. You want to put it somewhere elevated off the floor so that it's floating up a little bit and giving more strength to the concrete material. So here we're kind of playing around to see which one should we put in first. So I've got another long one here. We've already pre-drilled all of these holes. These were like probably 1/2-inch holes that we drilled here. And we just run these little rebar rods into them and see how well they fit here. So we're getting all of these ready to be in place here before we go ahead and start adding the mortar here. And this wire here was actually left over from the builder. He left it sticking out of the concrete slab. So we're just going to force that down in there too to add to the equation. So this is what it looks like with all of our rebar rods there. So you can see they're all in place there and ready to go. And that's pretty much where we're going to leave it situated there as we go to dump in our concrete mix here. So here we are dumping it in. The idea is you just dump it in with the cup, then pack it down, and then I'll come back right afterwards with like a float, and we can pound it down and drive it nice and smooth. You slide it around, you float it around, and you make sure that both of these concrete areas now are flush with one each other. So watch this. So you just kind of sort of tapped it down a little bit, and now I'm just kind of coming around and floating it, making sure that there's very little lippage, because I want it to be like one complete seamless slab by the time it's done here. So now you just add a little more around it to these little cramped areas here, and you just keep packing it in. So we'll have this area filled in really nice here. And we'll zoom in and get a close-up shot here for you. So just add more material in there. And it might look a little sloppy now, but it won't by the time we're done. Once we get it all packed in and get it all tamped down and floated, it'll be nice and smooth. So here's some close-up shots of what it looked like there, and a little wider shot here, showing how it looks in the grand scheme of things. So there it is once we got all of the concrete in, and we're just going to float it now. So I'll come in and I'll tap it down a little more. I found some peaks there. Just get it all tapped in nice there and float it around. So it's looking pretty good now here as we take a close look. And here it is all finished the next day. It's all dried, and we even added our hardy backer tile backer boards here, ready to start waterproofing the shower. But you can see how it just came out really nice there. Look at that. It's very seamless. That's the way the builder should have done it in the first place. Seams that had to come together. Okay, so now what we're doing here is we're about to cement in the Curdy drain here. And this comes with it's a gray plastic ABS plastic here. And you have to, this will work with PVC cement, which is what we're going to attach it to. So here I'm putting the primer onto the outside edge of that PVC pipe there. That's the shower drain pipe that goes down into the slab and into the crawl space between this unit and the unit below there. See, so what we're doing here is we've got the primer on there now, and you really have to work fast here because you really want your primer to be wet still. It's pretty hard. It's almost impossible really. So I've got we're putting the cement on the drain here now, and you have to act really fast because you pretty much don't have much time at all here to get this done. So I very quickly put some of the PVC cement on the drain. Then we're doing the outside of the shower drain pipe right there. And then you very quickly put it onto place and try to turn it a little bit. So we got it. It's not as much as I normally like to turn it, but it's a losing battle there trying to deal with the time factor, and the cement is drying on you. So at least we got it into place there. It's not going to move. And then as soon as you get it down, you start forming the mortar around it here. And what we're doing with all of this mortar here on the shower pan is we are going to lay our pre-cut sheet of the Schluter Curdy waterproofing membrane over that to help finish off the waterproofing seal of this entire shower flooring system. So there it is, we have it down, and we're using the same technique that we used on the wall where we force out all of the excess mortar out of the edge of the Curdy membrane there, and installing the river rock tiles onto the shower floor. And here is, I really love this bronze Schluter drain here that we put in. So we had to stitch all of the rocks all the way around it. Came out pretty good, I think. I hope you're enjoying this video so far, and if you're finding it helpful, hey, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below there for us, and make sure you click on that subscribe button down there as well, and don't forget to hit that little gray bell icon as well, because if you don't hit that gray bell icon, YouTube will not tell you when we upload a video, and you'll miss it. We'll have videos going up there and you'll never even know about it, like it never even happened. So make sure you do that. And thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll see you on the next one.